Actually, my grandmother, she used to sell crack cocaine to her own children. Yeah, so she was the first person I ever seen or witnessed sell cocaine. Yeah.
Welcome to Breaking Stereotypes with Todd and Tootsie. Today we're joined by X Cartier, a former hard drug dealer who will tell us how he got into the business, how he ended up in prison, and what he's doing now to try to go straight. Before we get into the interview, I just want to take this moment to remind everyone to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as it will help us with the YouTube algorithm. All right, well, welcome, X. Thanks for joining us today.
How are you?
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Really good. So, just to give a little bit of background, you and I have a history. When you were a kid, I was your mentor. And now it's been many years later, and we've stayed close all these years. And so we really appreciate you doing this, and I'm sure we'll get more into some of that later.
Right.
Yeah, so let's just start with your kind of background, right? And just kind of learn a little bit about your upbringing. So who raised you?
My grandmother and my mother and my aunt.
Okay.
It was a bunch of them. Yeah.
But all women.
All women, yeah.
And you kind of went back and forth to each household depending on what was going on?
All right. So growing up, I was like the favorite nephew, cousin. Like I was like the favorite of, I was like the favorite. I was the favorite of everything. Like grandma's favorite, auntie's favorite, mom's favorite. You know what I mean? So I just all over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was your dad around at all?
Yeah, well, he was in and out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not like consistent, where he wasn't like a consistent presence for you?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all.
So he's mostly out.
He was out. Yeah, I take care of business, I guess.
So I know your mom was a single parent then, and she had 6 kids, right? And so I know she had a job, she had a long commute, so she wasn't always around for you, right? And so I know I've heard from Todd, you know, the reason he kind of came into the picture was you guys were kind of missing school, you and your brother.
Yeah.
Because you were watching your younger siblings, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom was very busy, man. Take care of 6 kids. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like. Of course. So who next in charge when mom not around? You know.
Yeah, makes sense. And so you had two younger siblings, and they're, you know, pretty significantly younger than you guys, and so you ended up kind of staying home and missing school, which led to, at the time, you know, kind of being on a diversionary probation program to help out.
Right.
And so.
So how far did you get in school?
To the 10th grade, but I graduated. Nah, I ain't graduated. Got my GED in prison.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened in 10th grade that kind of caused you to, did you just drop out? Did you just?
No, I got arrested.
Okay.
Like a robbery. You know,
okay.
Like fuck school after that.
So what happened with the robbery that caused you to get arrested?
I got caught.
Who were you robbing?
Some random guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were just kind of getting into trouble.
Yeah. A lot of jewelry on, a lot of bling on. So like, I gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm young. I ain't got nothing, you know. So I ain't had nothing to lose. So I said, fuck it.
Okay.
Excuse my French.
And what happened after you got arrested?
I went downtown. Yeah, with the bookings. Called mom. Mom like, yeah, I can't do nothing for you. You know what I mean? So I had like to fend for myself. And they gave me like 3 months, 5 years probation. No, 6 months, 5 years probation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Was that the first time you got arrested?
Yeah, that's the first time.
Okay. Yeah. So kind of backing up, I know that you were introduced to crime a little bit just by your environment, right? Like you were used to seeing other people doing these kinds of things, so robbing someone wasn't a big deal to you, or?
Nah, that was the thing to do though back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that was what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people rob from each other? Like that was just kind of
Yeah.
the culture, right?
Right.
And I know drugs were kind of everywhere in your environment when you were growing up, right?
Yeah.
So who kind of first exposed you to drug dealing?
My grandmother. Yeah, my grandmother did. Yeah.
Okay. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Actually, my grandmother, she used to sell crack cocaine to her own children. Yeah, so she was the first person I ever seen or witnessed sell cocaine. Yeah, sell crack. Yeah,
What did you think about that when you saw her doing that?
I ain't thinking nothing. I mean, you grew up to something, like you don't think nothing of it. You know, that was the thing that's the thing to do. That's how we survive. You know,
Yeah.
like we don't really see nothing other than what we see. You know, so that's how we adapt to our environment. You know.
Right. So it didn't seem like weird or different
Or
or
out of place.
the ordinary.
Yeah, it was just normal for you.
Normal, just like your life. Wake up every morning, do the things y'all do. So it's the same. Like it's the same thing. Yeah, yeah. It's no different than you going to work. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And I know eventually you went from kind of just watching to there was a point where you started actually running for her, right?
No, yeah, I went to the. I was go to the store and get baggies for her. So
Okay.
she write a little note on the bag, and I go to the store, and I get her some bags. Yeah,
Okay.
How old are you when that happened?
like 7, 8. Yeah, 7, 8 years old.
Okay.
And did you think it was a cool life? Did you feel like there was like potential for you as you got older that like this is something you wanted to do?
It's like you, growing up, like you have no choice. You know what I'm saying? Like you can sell weed, sell crack. You do be a pimp. It just like we don't see certain stuff. Like I said, we adapt to our environment, so that's all we see. Like, and that's how we survive. You know what I mean? No different than you brushing your teeth in the morning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just something that we just do. It's just nothing. It's how, if you don't grind, you don't eat. You know what I mean? So it's just how it was.
Okay.
Was there anybody in your life when you were really young that kind of had a straight job and the 9-to-5 type deal?
Mine.
Yeah, sure. But would you say that most of your influences were kind of people who are hustlers in some way or another?
I feel like being your own boss makes more time. So like my mother, she didn't have time for us because she had to work and take care of us. So why would I want to do the same thing to my children? So I just think a little smarter than the rest of the people. You know what I mean? So if I make fast money and I could be home, why not do it? You know what I mean? Like a job to me is slavery. I'm not doing that. I'm not working for nobody. You get a paycheck, then they take out what they want, then you get left whatever, and you just stand a slave. You know what I mean? Like you're not about to tell me what I'm gonna get. Then after that, I got kids and I gotta come home, and by the time I get home, I'm tired. I can't spend time. You know what I mean? That's not the way to live, and it's crazy. I'm not with it.
So at what point did you start going out on your own and dealing?
Like 12, 13.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And like who were your customers?
I was doing weed. I wasn't selling like crack or nothing. I was selling weed.
But
yeah.
was it to other kids your age?
Yeah,
or-
school.
okay.
Yeah, middle
Okay.
school. Yeah.
Okay.
Where did you get the weed?
Cousins.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were starting your own little business at that age.
Yeah.
Okay. And then as you got older, like older teens, did you start branching out then?
Yeah, here and there. Yeah. Here and there, yeah. When I got older, it really changed, though.
How so?
Because I wasn't really, like, selling, like, drugs all the time. I had, like, another side hustle, you know? But I don't want to talk about that. But,
Okay.
yeah, but when I was selling, I had this guy, he would front me, like, 31s, pounds. I mean, 31 is cocaine.
Okay.
So he'll cook it. I didn't know how to cook. I'm young. I don't really know too much about it. All I know is you put it on a scale. A dime is a dime. A dub is a dub. You know what I mean? So that was easy for me. Yeah. It just normal. I don't know. It's normal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you got older and did you get more and more into it as far as the intricacies, as far as knowing how to cut it up yourself, and for example, or putting it into crack form, or things of that nature?
It's like this, right, bro? I don't really know too much about crack cocaine, right?
Okay.
But I just know people that need it. Like, I don't really touch this shit. I just get a profit, bro. I middleman. So if somebody want like a quarter key or something like that, I know somebody that has it.
Okay.
I put my tax on it. You know what I mean? Then I deliver it to the guy that wants it. You know what I mean? So that's how I was middleman. I never really sat down and really, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Like a middleman.
Me personally, I was smart. I like weed. Weed, you don't get that much time for selling weed. But I sold a lot of it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of it. So, yeah.
So I know that at a certain point you kind of got caught in crime and, went to prison. So what happened that was really like you committed a crime and got caught?
The second time, it was like a home invasion. This guy owed me some money, and he was ducking and dodging me, So, mind you, at this time I had a kid, you know what I mean? I don't have a job. We went half on something. He knew somebody. I waited. He never pulled back up. You know what I mean? And as being a man, I trusted you. You know what I mean? But he crossed me. So I don't really give, like, by that point, I don't even care. I got a kid. I got to take care of it. I don't care about nothing now. You know what I mean? So
how old were you?
18.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're 18, and he owed you money for drugs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave him, $2,500. That's all I had, Yeah.
Had that ever happened to you before? Where
Never,
someone just... Okay.
Never happened. So if it was personal, you know what I mean? And nobody ever like violate me ever, you know what I mean? Like, I give respect. I deserve the same thing back, you know what I mean? When you cross that, it is what it is after that, you know what I'm saying?
So where you came from and the culture you were in, if someone did that to you, you really, in your mind, didn't have any choice but to take some kind of action.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you didn't take an action, what would happen? Like, let's just say you let it slide. You let him essentially steal the $2,500 from you.
Excuse my French. Only a coward man will let somebody do that to them. You don't do nothing back. You know what I mean? I have a responsibility. I have children, so this is personal now. You know what I'm saying? This is personal. I'm gonna feed my kids. Like, it doesn't. It's beyond that. It's like, and you knew this. You know what I'm saying? I came to you as a man. You know what I mean? You violated me now. So I don't care about nothing else after that.
Yeah. Well, and you can't go to the cops and say this guy stole
No,
money from me, right?
Of course not. You know what I'm saying? It's street justice.
Right.
Street justice. So
what exactly?
You were in a bad place. It was either you did nothing and people wouldn't respect you, or you put yourself in a position where you potentially, and what ended up happening, go serve time, right?
Right.
So you're in a really tough position.
It's like, boom, right? Growing up, I always kept to myself, so I don't really care what people thought about me, But as a man, as being me growing up, my mom never let nobody take anything from me, So it's just who I am as a person, bro. You're not just about to take nothing from me, bro. I'm not. It's not going down like that, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Were you even thinking about consequences, or were you just like, this is personal, this is justice?
Yeah, it's personal. Yeah, of course. You don't want nobody taking nothing from you. You might call the cops. Huh?
Probably.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, but again, unless it's illegal, in which case, what are you going to call the cops and say, this guy took $2,500 worth of drugs from me? I mean, no one's going to do that.
Growing up, cops was never an option. You don't call the cop. I call a cousin to somebody. I don't need no cop.
Well, you'd be a snitch too.
Well,
right?
Of course, absolutely. I mean, that's not even a route, so that's why I call a cousin. You know what I mean? Like, ain't I got time for that.
So what happened with the home invasion?
We got caught.
Well, like, how did it go down? We know how it ended. Like, how did it begin?
How did it start? Like, did you know, like what was the circumstances surrounding it? Like, why that night or whatever? Did you know there was money there or drugs or whatever?
So a week later, I'm at my cousin's house and we talking, chilling. And out of nowhere, he brings the guy's name up. I ain't gonna say his name. He brings the guy's name up. I'm like, yo. I broke the story down to him. He like, yeah. He said, I know where he stay at. I said, you do? I said, we over there. Mind you, we family. He don't care. So what if we're violating anything, we riding. We going immediately. Like, yeah, he violated, bro. He took $2,500 from me, bro. And I got kids, bro. That's crazy. I got a kid, bro. He said, we over there. He gave me the jammy, and we went over there. Jammy is like a pistol gun. So we go over there. There's 3 of us. I got my cousin in the car. He's the getaway driver. And me and my cousin go in there. So we kick the door down, boom, we go in there looking. He not here. Cause my cousin know him, you know what I mean? Know he's cool. He goes out of town and get like the drugs and all that, you know what I mean? The weed and all that. So so we went in there. So we look and we ain't find anything. So out of nowhere, my cousin bumps into like his little dresser. It looked like a dresser, but it wasn't. It was a safe. He put like a little sheet over it and like a little flower pot over it. Then when he bumped into, he's like, "Yo, oh, cuz it's a safe right here." I was like, "What?" This motherfucker. I mean, the little thing was heavy though. You know what I mean? So we bring it down the stairs. Boom, 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 boom. Mind you, like, we had like 30 stairs. I'm like, this is crazy, bro.
That had to be loud as hell.
Yeah, we're hearing all types of in the safe and rocking back and forth. So I'm like, yo, mind you, at the time I'm a little dude, bro. So I'm like, man, I got tired. And the thing, like, it slipped out of my hand. So it went down, boom, at the hit the bottom of the step. Then it popped open, boom. I'm like, oh, we run down the stairs.
It popped open?
Yes.
You see cash sitting
yes,
there?
yes.
That's like in a movie.
Ran down the stairs. We like, yo, tell us to pull up. So mind you, I'm grabbing hands full of money, shoving it in my pants. I'm like, yo, it's over, bro. We out of here. So make a long story short, the next door neighbor was watching the house. It's a side by side. So the lady next door was watching the house we was in. You feel me? So
called the cops.
She called the cops.
yeah.
And then they were there before you knew it.
It was outside when I got outside.
So then you were doing the sprint.
I tried. They got me. That motherfucker. He was fast, bro.
Well, yeah, and you had all that money in your pocket.
Yeah,
weighing
of
you
course.
down.
Yeah.
Right. It's money everywhere flying.
It was crazy.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So what did you think in that moment? Were you just like, oh,
Man, I'm screwed
shit,
here.
yeah, I'm totally fucked. Like,
I was even madder because I could have made a different way instead of got caught. To benefit for my child, but I went to jail, so now I really can't do nothing now. You know? So, yeah. But I was angry. I don't care, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I seen him. I seen the guy. It's crazy. I seen the guy like 3 years ago, and he paid me.
get out of here.
Really?
He paid me.
Wow.
He seen me. He paid me.
He paid you in full?
He paid me more than what he's supposed to pay me.
Interest
interest.
after all
Hell
these years.
yeah,
Oh
son.
my God.
I went to jail, all that.
Why do you
weirdo.
think he did that? Because of everything you went through?
He know who I am.
Yeah. Okay.
You know? Like, I ain't with it. I
Wow.
ain't with it, bro.
So after you got arrested, you went and you went to jail, and then I know there was like a plea bargain, and ultimately ended up being like 3 years
Yeah,
that you got
years.
upstate.
Upstate in prison.
Yeah, prison, yeah.
So what was it like for you to go to prison for the first time?
I mean, I was nervous. Of course, you're nervous.
Sure.
Right.
Human being.
Right.
So I was nervous. I mean, it's my first time going to prison. Never been to prison before, but I know I'm not soft. So I'm not gonna let nobody do anything to me. I'm not going that route. You know what I mean? So I gotta fight every day, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
before that, you had only been to jail, and the longest time was like 6 months, and
Yeah.
So this was a lot bigger deal. This was
And you were 18, so
yeah.
when you're 18,
Yes.
3
No,
years feels like.
I was 20. I was 20.
Oh, you're
20
20.
by the time. Okay.
Yeah, so
Still
I
though.
had to go to trial, and
Yeah.
the
okay.
court cases took time. So
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Still, though.
it stressed out for me though.
Yeah, when you're 20, though, 3 years probably feels. Well, I remember it feels like an eternity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so, was that going through your mind that like, between age 20 and 23, I'm gonna be gone?
I felt like it gonna be time wasted. I could have did something productive with my time, but I end up going to jail and just sitting in here. Then got started all over again. I was mad with myself.
Do you think about that like every day while you're there?
Yeah,
just
that's why
like,
I go so hard right now.
Yeah.
Because I can do what I want to do right now.
Yeah.
So all I talk about is like money, bro, all the time. Yo, you hear I'm all like money.
Because you had 3 years of no earning. Really,
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
You know, I let my family down. Left with my children, you know. They ain't asked to be here, so yeah.
So what was it like when you first walked into prison? Like you and the new inmates, right, are all brought in?
Right. Oh, so I was laying in, I was in jail at this time. So they come get you early in the morning, around like 5 or 6 in the morning. So I'm laying in the bed, hear a knock on my bunk, like, yo, upstate call, like, you know what I'm saying, gotta get up the bus here. So I'm like, oh man, what the fuck, goddamn. Like,
they don't mess around. 5 a.m.
Yeah, get you early. And that day before you leave to go to upstate, you can't use the phone. They don't let you use the phone at all.
Okay.
So I'm like, what the hell? And to make a long story short, so we go downstairs, it's just like going through recession all over again. They search us and all this, and we going on the bus. Now we have our street clothes on that we got arrested in. So we go down. I think it was to Elmira, the reception. They go in there, accidental, and they take the clothes that you came in with off the streets, and they actually want to throw it in the trash or donate it or send it back home. So I'm like, damn, it's crazy. So while I'm in reception, I'm seeing a bunch of dudes in cages. I'm like, this shit look crazy. Son, dudes bugging, bro. But they young guys. You know what I'm saying? But I don't give a fuck. I'm with it. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna let nobody do nothing to me. It's just how it is. You know what I mean? I was just ready, combat mode. So yeah. So make a long story short, I stayed there for like 7 days. Then I went to Elmira. Then I went to Elmira. Was crazy.
Why? What was crazy about it?
Like when you walk in Elmira, like you got these tiers. Like it's like 4 foot up. Like it's like 4 foot, but it's like 4 tiers up. This shit look crazy, and it's like long as hell. Mind you, it's like 100 cells on each floor. So this shit look crazy. Like some movie. You hear a bunch of guys just screaming, yelling. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is going on?
So are you scared? Just nervous? Are you anxious? Like, are you getting pumped up because your adrenaline's just like flowing when you're walking through that?
It was no different than going to like a group, like a detention center for kids. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But you got grown men in here now. You know what I'm saying? It's like dudes been in prison, killed, and all that.
Are people yelling shit at you? Like, are they trying to intimidate you or
oh no. They just sound out like 585 and they saying stuff like, you know what I mean? Like they was nothing crazy, but the crazy thing is I'm walking down the tier. I'm still walking down. It's like 20 of us walking down in the line holding our stuff. So we're walking down the line. I know we're here like, yo, X. I'm like, yo, it's my cousin. He was going up. He was going up for 20 years.
Oh my God.
Well,
I ain't seen him.
Not the same cousin, different. That he did the robbery with.
No, it's a different cousin.
Okay.
I'm like, yo, what's up, cuz? What up, man? Yo, I got you. And then when you let me know what cell you went, I'm gonna send something to you, like food, commissary. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, I got you. Don't worry about nothing. You smoke? I'm like, I don't smoke. It's alright. What you need? Something, I got you. So make a long story short, walking down, then somebody else like, yo, X, what up? I'm like, who the fuck is, who this? It's my boy I grew up with since we was kids, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, what's up? Brian seen him in years. He must have been in and out of jail or something. That's why I couldn't see him. So so yeah, to make a long story short, jail ain't that bad, man. Like people think it is, man. It's not.
It wasn't bad.
No.
I mean,
well, you worked on your GED too, so it sounds like you made at least you were productive and I think you told me at one point too that it kind of made you a better man.
Yeah, because you're around a bunch of men, and everything in there is about respect. You gotta respect each other. We're gonna be in here for a while, so have respect. Like if you use the bathroom, flush the toilet. We don't want to smell you. You know what I'm saying? Or if you walk past somebody, say excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Don't be too loud. There's just certain rules it just you go by. You know what I mean? When I went in, I learned immediately because I adapt to my environment. I fall back, pay attention. I don't be in all the people's face. I sit back, keep to myself. You know what I mean? Like I don't really. I'm not too much of a. I'm a social guy, but I know I know what environment I'm in at the moment, so I know to keep to myself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So while you were in prison, did you deal drugs?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's down. I was like later down, like that's
Farther in.
Yeah. So yeah.
But was it something that, I mean, you wanted to make money, or you just wanted to have this sort of status in prison, or?
Nah, it was really, I don't care about no status. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go home. I don't want you to know me. I don't want to know you. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go home. But but in jail, people like the way I move, how I keep to myself. People like they like that. You know what I'm saying? So that makes me stand out because I keep to myself and respectful. I mean, I'm loyal, I'm real. You can just tell by me, bro. I'm a good person to be around. You know what I'm saying? So, so this guy named, I'm gonna say his name. He named Will, and he's had a girl. Mind you, she was like I don't know what she was, but she had like a good paying job for like the city. You know what I mean? And she was getting paid money, so she was getting paid good money, and he was getting commissary, all types of stuff. Like man, like mind you, I don't really have too much. Like coming up state, because at the time, like through reception, it takes you like some time for you to get money to drop, or you get a package. It take a little while. Sure, I ain't have nothing. So this guy, I'm saying, so make a long story short, he took a liking on me, like, yo, what's up, bro? You smoke? I'm like, yeah, I smoke. So I ain't really known, but we smoke. We call it sticks, like a little skinny, bro. It's crazy. It look like a toothpick with weed in it.
Okay.
Bro, that's what we was smoking. Like, yeah, it's crazy. We smoking it. But mind you, he was getting.
How'd you get away with that because weed has such a stench to it?
We walk around the yard. Dudes make candles. You can make any type of oil. Like we used to get Muslim oil, and we'll make how you call it? What do you call it? Why? So we get tissue and roll it up. Right? We make incense, and we put the baby oil on. Like we put the oil on it, like cinnamon oil, Muslim oil, and we light them up. You just smell it smells just like an incense, bro. Like you can't smell it.
Yeah, you had all kinds of tricks, basically.
You smoke outside in the yard, walk around, smoke. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever get caught dealing in prison?
No.
Okay.
You ain't catching me. That's another charge. I'm trying to go home. You ain't catching me, bro.
Right. And you weren't worried about that while you were there?
I mean, it been times that like when one time I got my locker searched. So the guy, Will, came from a visit. He had like, this is ridiculous. He had like 12 balloons. So they're like party balloons, like for kids. And you put the weed in it. You tie it up, then do it again, tie it up again. Another like 3 balloons, and you just swallow them on a visit floor. They call it the dance floor. Okay. So they'll swallow him, and he'll swallow them. And, you know what I'm saying? He come back, and he'll poop them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and he was like, yo, X, I need you to hold this down for me. So he gave me like, he didn't give me all 12. He gave me like 5 of them. Like, hold these down for me. I had them. And how I did it, I put my stuff under the locker, under the little department. Like, it's like a hook under the locker. So I'm laying on my bunk. And the CEO walked past my locker, was like, yo, cube search. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, all right, bet. So I got up. I'm like, damn, I see about to find it. So he go in my locker. Mind you, I got like nothing too much in my locker. Like, so he looked through it. All right, boom, boom, boom. I don't see nothing. All right. So he lift the locker up now. He took the locker back. Try to look under the locker. Mind you, I got like a little. This locker was different. I don't know. Everybody, I don't know what's up. That's why. But this locker was very different. So he looked at it under the locker, put it back down. And when he put it back down, the balloons rolled, like fell. Boom.
Oh, God.
But he put the locker down. I'm looking at it like, oh, he put the locker down. Then he searched my little locker. I'm like, oh. So he signed a paper and had to sign it too, saying that he searched my locker. I was here when he searched my locker. And he leaves. My heart was beating out my chest, man. I started beating out my chest.
Dodged a bullet. So that was the closest you came
The
to
closest,
getting
yeah.
That's close though.
Okay.
That was
yeah.
close. And Will just gave him to me. Like, he just gave him to me. Like, I went to his cubicle, got him, he gave it to me. I goes in my lock, I put it under there, boom.
Oh my God.
Then I go try to break it down. Then cube search. I'm like, damn. I'm like, you must have been watching me or something.
So how many drugs were in prison? You know, was it pretty rampant? Like, if you wanted to get something and you had the money, were you able to acquire it? Not you personally, but just like people.
Yeah. In jail, people call it chasing the bag. You chasing drugs in jail. You know what I mean? That's why some majority of people have bad times and bad stays in jail because they be chasing the bag, chasing drugs, not paying debt off and all that. So they wonder why they get cut, stabbed, or moved to another jail. You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know at one point you ended up in solitary, right?
Yeah.
So what happened to put you there?
Oh yeah. I skipped school.
I
They
thought that
put you in
happened.
the they put you in the box for skipping school.
Nah, it was bigger than that. Like it's like because they thought like I escaped type. Cause they looking for me. Like it's like
Oh, because you weren't.
Yeah, I
You
wasn't where I
were
was supposed to be at. So,
Okay.
they had to close
So
the
they,
whole jail down.
Oh, my God.
Son. Like,
That's so
I'm
true.
like, yo, son, they was mad at them.
Were you just like in your bunk or something?
Nah,
asleep?
I was at the gym working out.
Oh, okay.
But I do it all the time, though. Like,
Yeah.
this time, they caught me this time. Teacher must
shit.
have called the dorm. And teacher called. I was in Rastafarian service, but Rastafarian service was closed. And I went to the dorm, then went to the gym.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So how long were you put into solitary for?
30 days.
30 days.
Wow.
Holy shit.
You know,
What was that
like?
like?
Sucked.
That seems extreme for just skipping and working out.
You know,
Jeez.
it's crazy, mind you, right? I went to the gym to work out to add size to me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get caught. Mm-hmm. I went to the gym and lost everything I worked for. Like it was crazy.
You
bro.
came out really thin.
There you go.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Because
So
you didn't get
30
any chance to get commissary there either, right? You know,
Oh,
so
nah, bro,
you
they
didn't
get-
eat extra
nah,
food.
You get
So did you do like push-ups or read magazines or books? Like, how did you get? What did you do with your time? Like to keep from, being overstressed.
I was talking to myself.
Talking to yourself. I mean, is it like in the movies? It's like dark, no
Yeah, no,
sunlight.
nah,
I mean, you can't.
you get low, you get
were you putting like the number of days on the wall, like counting down? Like,
You know, you get magazines and stuff and books, yeah, but majority of the time it's like venting to myself. That like
was it solid walls and no bars? And
it's a solid wall, right?
Okay.
Yeah, they have a little slot, right, that they can open
Yeah.
up.
It's
God,
straight-
that's
yeah,
be
yeah,
They can
horrible.
put their food
but,
in there.
but that's it. You're
Yeah.
not looking through the bars or anything.
No, you got like a little window.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Little glass window you
Yeah.
look through, or you got like a little light you could hit the CO here see like if you need assistance and all that.
30
Yeah.
days.
Yeah,
And you
but
couldn't get out to exercise at all.
you could have, but you got to get up early, like 6. Like I'm not getting up at 6 in the morning to go outside. Plus it was wintertime, it was cold. I'm not going outside.
Oh,
You
is that
can't get no
wintertime?
hat.
Oh wow.
You get a sweater. You can get no hat, nothing. That's just crazy.
Did you have any ways of having contact with other inmates? Like,
Yeah,
Wow.
we just talk through the toilet.
Okay.
how did you do that? You literally just talk into the toilet?
Yeah.
And they can hear it
Yeah,
in their toilet?
They in their toilet.
That's awesome.
Nah.
That's better than no contact. That's like an old school telephone with the two
That
tin
is-
cans.
It's crazy. Like, but being in a box, I took a lot of good out of it versus being bad. Like, that's the first time I've ever been by myself for this long and nobody around. So I really get the chance to know who I was as a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
What did you think? Like, what did?
I was set back. I'm like, I'm on my bunk. I'm like, what am I doing with myself, man? Like, why I'm in prison, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah.
So you really did take the time to reflect when you were
Yeah,
there.
so I said, I'm gonna get out of here and get my GED.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why you decided to get it.
Yeah,
After you-
like I'm trying. I'm a grown man now. Ain't no time for mistakes no more. Come on, I'm a grown man. I ain't a kid no more. You know what I mean? So get it together.
Yeah.
Is that tough? I mean, it's one of those things where, especially you missed a lot of school, and you have to make that up. And I know the GED test is it's not an easy test. Like if we had to take it right now, we'd probably all fail.
Yeah, I know.
They,
Right.
they
You know,
change it a
it's-
lot. They change it. They be changing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you must have had to study and
Yeah.
really buckle down to get through that.
Yeah, but you understand. I'm in prison for 3 years. There's nothing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People in jail making stories and movies. It's like it's so much free time. So you try to find something productive with your time. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a challenge to me. Like I'm gonna get this. Like you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And after that, what's next?
Did you feel proud? Were you proud of yourself for following through on that? And
Yeah,
getting it?
heck yeah.
Yeah.
I was like shocked that I got it though.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Yeah.
So, okay, so what happened when you were released? Like, what was your kind of new mindset? Like, what did you decide you were going to do from that point forward?
And I want to ask, like, do you remember the first thing you ate?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
I would have thought,
yeah.
like, I'm going to go get a steak dinner or
That's all,
or something like
that's
that.
How everybody's talk. First thing be sex. I want some sex, man.
Yeah,
Like,
did you have like
yeah.
a list of numbers you had in mind, people you're going to call? Like, 3 years go by. How do you even know,
I know one thing. I came home. I had a glow. I had a nice side. Oh my god, they couldn't get up off me, man. They was at me, bro. A lot of females. Yeah, I was like famous, Facebook famous, like 50,000 like followers. Like it was crazy.
So people knew that you were
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, so yeah, what was your plan? Like, did you have this kind of moment where you were like, I'm not going back there. Like, that's never going to happen again. So I've got to go straight, or what happened?
Oh man, ain't nothing to do with men, bro. I don't like men, bro. You know what I mean? So I don't like no man, bro.
Yeah.
So I like, you know what I mean? So I like that's out of the question.
Yeah.
I took a lot of good out of it though. So I'm like, yeah. So, but I'm not going back. To
Right.
be honest with you, I think I needed jail though. Like I needed some time to get my mind right, and that's where it was at. So yeah.
So how do you see yourself different post versus before you went?
I have more respect for people versus to be rude, obnoxious. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's a destructive type of guy. I'm very belligerent. You know what I mean? Going to jail, you learn respect and manners in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I can kind of chime in here. So I was involved with the family as a therapist, and I was also a mentor to X and his brother. And between ages of like 13 and 16, and I gotta agree with him that he was during that period of his life was very disrespectful adolescent, and I had a lot of stories and so on and so forth, and I tried my best, but it was one of those things where it was challenging for sure, but we reconnected after he got out, and it was a different dude. It was different guys, like, very respectful, and night and day. I mean, it's to this day. And so I agree with you that was probably a wake-up call you needed, and just to mature, because you were a kid, and you didn't have any structure, you didn't have any really positive role models in your life.
It's crazy because when you go to jail, you really see who there for you, who not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I went to jail. I came home, and I know Ty was there for me ever since day one. He didn't have to. Mind you, this is a job. He doing overtime with me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, he doing overtime. He was on time every time. He was never late. You know what I mean? So I commend him. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's we're not friends, we're more family. You know? Like, it's crazy. My dad would have gave up before he did.
Really?
So yeah, Todd, he like a challenge boy. Like, he ain't give up though. I respect him.
No, thanks for that. But it was one of those things where I formed a bond with you guys, and I really wanted to see you do well. And I knew what I was up against. I was up against the whole culture. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's something that was tough, but at the same time, I think having somebody that genuinely cared about you and showed that through their actions was something that I think was really needed. I think every kid needs a boy or girl needs, a positive role model in their life. And so,
Right. True though.
This is Breaking Stereotypes, and if you're enjoying this interview with X Cartier, be sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to our channel. All right, so let's shift to your new life and your attempts at going straight. So, why did you decide that the hard kind of drug dealing route was not for you anymore?
Got kids now, you know. Yeah, I got kids now, so it's other ways to make money, you know. Like I don't deal with like the hard drugs,
Right.
like heroin, crack, and all that.
Right.
I ain't dealing with that.
Right.
I will sell some marijuana though.
Right.
I sell some weed, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So
well, you
explain.
can become kind of like a weed connoisseur.
Of course. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Does it boil down to like the prison time and just kind of looking at like I don't want to go down that road, but weed is becoming more mainstream, more legalized. Like
Right.
this is like
there's a lot of benefits to it.
more harmless.
Right.
I mean,
When I came home from jail, that was on my mind the whole time. I'm gonna make money, but I don't make money. I'm in jail, selling. You know what I'm saying, selling keys, coke, and they doing time. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do a drug like weed. But at the time, we wasn't selling fast enough like that. So I felt like I just need more customers. So it will make up for it not selling fast enough. So I always hustle, find more and more customers. So it's like I'm selling heroin. 'Cause I got that many customers. You know what I mean? So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's you seem to be different than a lot of people out there as far as your marketing strategy. You have your Instagram, you have a website, you have stickers you post all over the city.
Yeah.
That people can get contact with your website. You do deliveries. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you're really providing a service for people who enjoy weed,
There you go.
right? And so
Entrepreneurial.
There you go.
Yeah. So basically, your version of going straight and like staying out of trouble is to just deal in weed and have more customers with it's like a less expensive, less risky drug.
That's a thought when I came home from jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy because I my baby mother. At this time I was coming home, it was tax time, so mind you, this like where I grew up, that's like the biggest time, like cause everybody get money, everybody get their taxes. I mean, so I told her like, yo, let's get some weed. She like, I bet. So she had like back like 9,000. We just spent like 7 on it. You know what I mean? 'Cause after 2, she put it on bills, whatever the case may be. So we bought weed with it. Bought some pounds, and after that it was over.
yeah.
It was over after that.
Yeah. Well, so our podcast is about breaking stereotypes, as we've said before. One of the things I'd like to say is that, there's a lot of negative stereotypes that go into street hustling,
Right.
weed selling, right? Or just people who come from your culture, are black, are dressed like you do, so on and so forth. We can all agree with that, right? That there's a stereotype to that.
Yeah.
I think the important thing that I'd like to say, again, knowing you all these years, is that there's very few people that I know that if I was in trouble, if I needed something, I'd call you and you'd be there.
Yeah.
Loyalty is to a T. And also, you are a funny dude. Like, we go to the gym together and we just make each other laugh and so on and so forth. And, you're a really funny guy. And you have a lot of charisma and personality. And, I think probably in the beginning, you probably use that, like, to kind of harm, people indirectly by kind of being into the hard stuff. But now it's one of those things where you're using your charisma and so on and so forth, your entrepreneurship, in order to, go in that different direction.
Right.
And it's something that, I've seen a lot of personal growth from you. And again, I think that if anybody got to know you, they'd want to have a beer with you and hang out and talk, because it's something that, again, you're just somebody who, has a lot of funny stories, and also, just is able to make jokes, and you can talk to anybody. You're very extroverted.
Right. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Right? And so, I don't know. What do you agree with that?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, of course.
But so I guess then the other question would be, did you ever consider taking all of your talents and your personality and your hard work ethic and, your entrepreneurial mind and decide to go into like a more legitimate, business? Whereas, because right now what you're doing is it's still not legal. I mean, it's the safer route for you, but I mean, have you ever just said, no, I'm going legal with everything and on the books and 9 to 5?
No. We going now, of course, yeah. It just, at the time when we was selling weed was illegal, of course not. But now we got way more leeway. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But that's not all I do. I don't only just sell weed. I breed dogs, like Frenchies and I forgot what dogs I got. That's crazy. American Bullies, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or wholesaling houses and stuff like that. I learned a lot of that from like YouTube. That's crazy. I flipped the house. Not flipped the house. I wholesaled the house off of YouTube. That's crazy. I made my first like $15,000 doing real estate, like with no license or nothing. It was crazy. Like, wow, this is bugged up.
Yeah. Well, I know the other thing that you've always asked me about too is, I've invested a lot over my lifetime, and it's something that, actually you've always like come to me and said, what's the best investment to do? Where should I put my money? So on and so forth. So in that way, you're also really trying to go straight, because you're trying to accumulate enough money and then put it in the market or get into real estate or whatever it is. And so, and I know it's a work in progress, but it's something that, it takes time. You're still a young guy. And so it's one of those things where, but you're inquisitive and you're, versus just saying, because you easily could go back to selling the hard drugs and doing all the stuff that got you in prison before. But it seems like you have this outlook now that you're really trying to say, how can I, make my money work for me, and how can I, get in some solid investments.
Yeah. At the time I was young, you know what I mean? So I never had like a different way of looking at things. So when I went to prison, like I said, I had time to myself.
Yeah.
And I got nothing but books in here, time to read, everything. So of course, I found different ways to make money. I talked to different guys. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of gangs in there, but I never talked like socialized with them guys. You know what I mean? I'm not in a gang, bro. But they liked who I was as a person, 'cause I stood as a man, bro. They liked my character, so that's why everybody messed with me. But yeah, it was prison. Yeah, like it got me straight.
That was a big change.
Yeah.
Leading up to that, you were only doing what you knew, and it got you into trouble.
Yeah.
And then you kind of had this time to say, okay, I need to change.
Right. In jail, it's this book I used to read called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh yeah.
And it made me think of Tide. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. So like, all right, yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah. So
yeah.
So that's why I go to him for advice. You know what I mean?
You call him Rich Dad, or
yeah, you know, it's my boy, man. So yeah, so that's what I used to do. So that's why I always ask some questions like, yo, is this smart to buy this or buy that, or
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
trying to change your mindset.
Right, there you go.
Yeah,
it's crazy because my dad used to be a pimp, and I used to like do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I rather do what Ty's doing. You know what I mean? So
right.
So yeah. So I'm back on this route. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, as weed is becoming more and more legal, more commonplace, more easily accessible, are you worried about your future with that if it becomes as easy to access as like alcohol in the supermarket? And
So you think like it's gonna bother me making money or something like that?
And just I
To
mean,
interfere with you making money, because if it's in everywhere,
right.
Nah, I mean it's money everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
But that's not my only income though. I don't just
Right.
bank on selling weed, you know. I don't. You know what I mean? Weed is like legal now. You have 5 plants. You can grow 5 plants in your house now, so it's really not
Okay.
a problem anymore. So
Yeah. So is that what you do? You
No.
grow plants in your house? Or?
no, I know somebody that grows it though. And
okay.
he grows it for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, it's
a-
changed
he's
a
a-
lot
Well,
in the last.
and I know you
few
have
years.
some top notch.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I guess while we're at it, where can people find what's your Instagram?
It's charge_exotic. Yeah, charge
Charge of
exotic.
exotic.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can throw a link in the description box.
Yeah, do that. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, this has been quite a journey, you know, from where you started, where you grew up, you know, everything that happened to you to where you are today. How do you feel about where you are now in life?
I'm happy. I can travel. I can buy what I want. I can spend time with my children. I can run a business and be home. I can go to the gym with Tad. You know what I mean? I'm
You
good.
just got back from Miami.
There you
Yeah,
go. I'm going
yeah.
back.
So you have your freedom and you make your own schedule
Yeah.
and you work for yourself.
There you go. And I learned how to be by myself. I learned. It's like I work better by myself. You know what I mean? Like if I'm in the room by myself, my mind is going. How you know what I'm saying? I talk to people about the right questions, answers. I need, how you do this? How you do that? How you do that? That's all I care about. If it's about just go to the bar and drink, like, better get out of here with that shit. I'm good, bro. Like,
Right.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to get right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, remember you told me you don't like drinking, and you don't like women that drink, right? It's a turn off to you.
yeah, because my mother's a drink, sister drink. And I don't like that. It's a turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a turn off. Females, I don't think that's cute. It's okay to drink and sip. They get drunk. Like, I don't want that. you
Right,
know?
right.
Like, yeah. it's
And
not
in
cute.
general, it seems like you don't want any trouble and low key. You're going low key these days.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate your time today, X. I feel like I've gotten to know you as a whole person.
Yeah.
And, the viewers can tell us if the interview's done anything to break down a stereotype. Hopefully it has. If not, did it reinforce it? What did you think? We'd love to hear your feedback in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll have more interview content coming up. Thanks a lot, X.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks, X, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.